audience, and that is you should be previewing 5 houses a day, 5 days a week, 25 houses a week. I guarantee you, if you preview 25 houses a week, you take notes, however you take notes. I guarantee you, if you make a triangle, well, here's where I live, here's where I work, here's where I spend the most time, and you know every house in that radius, life is patterns. I bet that you have your coffee the same way every time you drink coffee. I bet when you go to your favorite steakhouse that you have your steak that you like, whether it's a ribeye or a filet, whether it's medium or medium well or medium rare. Life is full of patterns. And if you can figure out the pattern, then you can figure out who's going to be the buyer, how long it's going to take to sell, how are they going to finance it, and where are those people. I remember my first really big listing. And I was so nervous. And I pulled every single buyer that had bought a house on that street ever. And then I researched who they were. Attorneys, doctor, C-suite, owners of companies. And then how had they financed it? And how old were they when they purchased it? And how old were they when they sold it? And so when I sat down with the seller, it was 113 different properties on this street. And I literally could go in and say, okay, so 37% of the people that purchased on this street were some sort of C-suite. 12% were some sort of in the medical field, connected with the medical field, either a doctor or some sort of healthcare based. And my people were like, how do you know this? And I'm like, I went through every single house on the street and I pulled all of the information. And the unknown that I couldn't find anything about was 3%. And they're like, you're joking. I'm like, no. And that's the thing. Those people interviewed 5 people. The guy on Riverside Drive, that guy interviewed the best real estate agent in Atlanta, supposedly. And she walked in thinking, I'm going to get the listing because I'm the best real estate agent in Atlanta, Georgia. And he listed his house with me. So this is the thing. Nothing accelerates credibility faster than proof. Mm-hmm. And your ability to prove your knowledge of the data is literally the first step in your credibility. If you are a new agent and you don't, Glennda, I've never sold a house in Cottonwood Estates. That doesn't matter. If you know the product and the avatar for the buyer or the avatar for the seller, then you already are up 70% on your competition, because I guarantee you nobody is doing that type of research.
Someone could look at you and say, well, you're doing all of these things. How do you have time to even do all of that research?
I time block. And this is the thing. People have time for stuff that's a priority to them. Do you think it's a priority to me to get a $5 million listing all day, every day, and twice on Sunday? This is the thing, is that don't be distracted from something you should be devoted to. And you should be devoted to your business. When you're working in your business, you should be devoted to your business. When you are at home with your family, you should not be distracted from your family. You should be in the moment, right then, enjoying them, not on your phone, not working out a deal, not out on vacation, at the swimming pool, at the beach, while your kid is drowning in the ocean and you're worrying about 123 Banana Street. If you focus on your work when you are working, you won't have to half-ass your way through life when you're with your family.
Yeah, and that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. And I think that, nobody dies. Like, we're real estate agents. Like, do you understand? Like, nobody dies because you didn't answer the phone. We're not Sal, my client who's a heart surgeon. If Sal's on call and he doesn't answer the phone, somebody dies. Like me, I don't answer the phone. You can't get into 123 Banana Street. It's on showing time. There are 1,000 different ways to connect with people. They don't need to be connecting with you at 10:35 on Sunday night.
You got to keep your boundaries and separate the two.
Yeah, when you're working, don't be goofing off on your Instagram. When you're working, Like literally work. Because I guarantee I'm the busiest person in the world. Somebody said to me yesterday, I was changing some light bulbs, and somebody said to me yesterday, they're like, why would you spend your time changing light bulbs? I'm like, well, first off, I want to understand how to change these particular light fixtures. They were some recessed lights. I said, I want to understand how to do it, number one, because if I don't have the ability to pay somebody or I can't do it, then I'm at the mercy of somebody else. So I always want to know how to do something myself. So that is worth my time. But the reason that I had time to do that is because I was up yesterday at 6 o'clock doing all of the other stuff, responding to emails, looking at my Airbnb, making sure that everybody was happy as a pig in a puddle. And I worked like I was really focused on my work. I got a lot done. And if you give yourself time blocks to get stuff done, you'll be so much more efficient and effective.
Yeah, it's separating and then giving your time to focus on what's in the schedule. So, walk me through your process of really getting to know the product when it comes to a particular house. How do you think through that?
Well, this is one thing that I tell new agents, and that is you should be previewing 5 houses a day, 5 days a week, 25 houses a week. I guarantee you, if you preview 25 houses a week, you take notes, however you take notes, whether you're writing it on a listing sheet, whether you're dictating it into your phone, whether you're putting it into a CRM, I guarantee you, if you make a triangle, here's where I live, here's where I work, here's where I spend the most time, and you know every house in that radius, when you go out to dinner and you're sitting at the bar having your, dinner, and somebody sits down next to you, hey, how's it going? Living the dream, selling houses every day. Oh, you're in real estate? I am in real estate. Oh my gosh, you will not believe. Do you live in the area? Oh yeah, you do? Okay, so do you know 123 Banana Street? Oh my gosh, I love that house. I mean, I love that house. I previewed it today, and I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, who can I sell that house to? And all of a sudden, this person who does not know me from Adam's House Cat is literally like, oh, wait a minute. She's a real estate agent. She's previewing. She's going the extra mile. She's trying to think of who she can sell 123 Banana Street. She knew all about the swimming pool. She knew all about the outdoor area. She knew all of the areas that needed to be updated. She knew about the master bathroom. So then when Mandy calls me and says, hey, Glenda, I saw 123 Banana Street come on the market, I can say, Mandy, I love you. You have more clothes than Emil DeMarco's. It's not going to work for you because the master bedroom closet is the size of a water closet. All of a sudden, Mandy's like, oh, yeah, I don't need to see that house because you know. So previewing the houses, being in the weeds, that is what accelerates that credibility because you know what you're talking about. You can speak intelligently about real estate. The first thing I do, when I get to my office and I sit down in my chair, the first thing I do is I pull up every new listing. Not just every new listing in my county, my city, my area, my neighborhood. I pull up every new listing. I scan through all of the new listings. There's a $47 million house in Atlanta. It's Atlanta, Georgia. The highest sale ever was $17 million. It was Tyler Perry's house, and the Sunship guy took a $2 million loss when he sold it to Steve Harvey for $15 million. So I'm thinking to myself, $47 million. How do you justify $47 million in Atlanta, Georgia? So what did I do? I pulled it up. I pulled up all of the parcels. Wait a minute, could this be a developer that comes in and builds multiple houses? What is the footprint of the house? Why is it this way? How much work does it need? Who's the buyer avatar? So then that way, sure enough, somebody says to me Tuesday night, so the house came on the market Monday. Is that right? Monday or Friday? I mean, it came on the market either Friday or Monday. And so sure enough, Tuesday night, I'm at dinner. Somebody says to me, hey, I heard a $47 million house came on the market. I'm like, oh yeah, I know all about it. 18 and a half acres. This is the owner. This is when they bought it. This is who built it. I got to tell you, have you seen it? Did you look at the pictures? I'm just telling you right now, whoever buys that is going to have to really love gold. And did you see how far the swimming pool is from the house? You need a golf cart. all of a sudden, that person was like, she knows every house in Atlanta. Like, this guy randomly brings up a $47 million house, and he's like, she knows every house in Atlanta.